good? I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. Could we please stand for a pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the record, this is a public meeting of the Bayonne Board of Education. It is 7:02 p.m., the 13th day of June. We're convening in the Alexander O'Connor Auditorium. The presiding officer is Maria Volato, President of the Bayonne Board of Ed. Those in attendance include Mr. John J. Neese, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Kenneth Kopaz, our Assistant Superintendent for Personnel, Ms. Jennifer Vecchiarelli, our Assistant Superintendent for Special Services, Dr. Gary Maida, Board Secretary, Mr. Daniel Castles, our School Business Administrator, Mr. Thomas Fagu Jr., our Assistant School Business Administrator, Dr. Dennis Degnan, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and Mr. Matt Nemi, our Board Counsel. The meeting is open to the public. I will take a roll call. On that roll call, Trustee Burke is absent. Trustee Casillas?
Here.
Trustee Egan?
Here.
Trustee Godesky Rodriguez?
Here.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Here.
Trustee Sclafane is absent. Trustee Wilbeck?
Here.
Vice President Munoz?
Here.
President Volato?
Here.
President?
For the record, adequate written advance notice of at least 48 hours giving the time, date, and location of this meeting was provided as follows. Notice was promptly posted in City Hall at 630 Avenue C on the bulletin board reserved for such matters. Announcements of the Board of Ed. The Board Secretary sent such notice to the Jersey Journal and Bayonne Community News. Notice was filed with the Municipal Clerk of the City of Bayonne, Ms. Medina. Before we begin the meeting, this was a very sad week in the City of Bayonne for our school community. 2 young lives were lost. And I'd like to take a moment of silence for Chu Ming and Jack at the prime of their lives, who lost and also for our custodian, who last week also lost his life. It was a very sad week in the city, in our school district. Please, let's have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll start with the agenda, our approval of minutes, our acceptance of communications. Everything for tonight's meeting is up on our bulletin board. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
And a second. On that motion and second, on minutes and communication, Trustee Burke is absent. Trustee Casillas?
Yes.
Trustee Egan?
Yes.
Trustee Godesky Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Sclafane is absent. Trustee Wilbeck?
Yes.
Vice President Munoz?
Yes.
President Volato?
Yes.
Moving ahead to curriculum, our resolutions A1 up into including A12. Do I have a motion?
Yes. I'll move.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by President Volato and a second by Trustee Godesky Rodriguez. On that motion and second, Trustee Burke is absent. Trustee Casillas?
Yes.
Trustee Egan?
Yes.
Trustee Godesky Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Sclafane is absent. Trustee Wilbeck?
Yes.
Vice President Munoz?
Yes.
President Volato?
Yes.
Moving ahead to finance, resolutions B1 up into including B32. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Motion by Trustee Egan and a second
I second.
by Trustee Gonzalez. So we have a motion and second. On that motion and second, Trustee Burke is absent. Trustee Casillas?
Yes.
Trustee Egan?
Yes.
Trustee Godesky Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Sclafane is absent. Trustee Wilbeck?
Yes.
Vice President Munoz?
Yes.
President Villado.
Yes.
And then finally, our personnel agenda, Resolution C1 up into including C86. I have a motion
I'll make that move.
by Trustee Cassius, and I have a second
I'll second.
by President Villado. So on that motion and second, Trustee Burke is absent. Trustee Cassius,
Yes.
Trustee Egan,
Yes.
Trustee Gadesky Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
Trustee Scafane is absent. Trustee Wilbeck,
Yes.
Vice President Munoz.
Yes.
President Villado.
Yes.
President, that's all I have for this evening on resolutions, but I do have one card. You could fill one out. I'd like to bring up our present Bayonne Board of Ed student representative, Alyssa Ochino, and she's going to introduce our new representative, who is going to be Nicholas Maharja. Did I get? Marai, thank you. Sorry about butchering that up.
Hi, everyone. Long time no see. I hope all is well with you and yours. We've successfully reached the end of the year, which is a feat in itself. In terms of student government, I'm so happy to announce that I have been elected as next year's student government president. While this does mean I'm passing the torch off to someone else, I can't wait to move into this new stage of leadership as a senior. I've met the new board, and they're all very excited to begin working together next year. We recently held BLC, which is the Bayonne Leadership Conference. While there, we met 8th graders from across the district, and I, along with my new vice president, Mary Mungrew, got to choose our new freshman ambassadors. The event went well, and I'm really proud of the connections we were able to make that day. Something else I wanted to touch upon that is more important to myself and our community was the recent passing of a Bayonne High School junior, Jack, and his brother Chu Ming, a recent graduate. They were friends to so many of us and just incredible people who were good and talented and kind. I encourage everybody listening to help support the boys' family. There's currently a GoFundMe that is accepting donations that go directly to them. No amount of money can bring those boys back, but it's the most that we can do to support them during this very difficult time. The Bayonne High School community is mourning this tragic loss, and they will always be in our hearts. With that, I'd like to share just a quote from Maya Angelou. It goes, "I answer the heroic question, death, where is thy sting? With it is here in my heart and mind and memories." Thank you, everyone here, for their time and for an amazing year of meetings. I'd also like to introduce your new Board of Education representative, Nicholas Mirage. Don't worry, this position will be left in extremely capable hands. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I just wanted to say congratulations on your presidency. You know, we look forward to seeing you do great things. Please don't be a stranger, because we got used to you being here after a year. And I just want to say my son is the student council president, Mary J. Donahue, and he attended that conference that you guys had, and he thought it was an amazing experience, and he couldn't wait to attend Bayonne High School next year to be a part of student government. So thank you very much.
Congratulations to you.
Hello,
Welcome.
everyone.
Welcome,
First of all, that
Nicholas.
was great, Alicia. She was an amazing Board of Education representative. I can't laud her enough. I mean, she was so good at all the meetings and stuff. Like in our Stuga group chat, it was like, oh, check out Alicia, she's doing so good. Anyways, so hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas Mirage, and I'm a rising senior here at Bayonne High School. And I was honored to be elected as the new Board of Education representative for the 2022-2023 school year. And I'm so excited to work with you all for this upcoming year. So just a little about me. I previously served on the student government as House 2 Chairman and a homeroom rep, but apart from Stuga, I'm the assistant editor of our school newspaper, The Beacon, and I have a significant role in our Lion program. I'm the historian of the New Jersey Junior Classical League, and I'm the co-president of our Lion Club, and I'm also a very proud member of our Mall UN team. But in terms of student government, the newly elected Student Government Executive Board held its first meeting this past Wednesday. The meeting was used to establish the rules and orders of student government, as well as an important opportunity for the Executive Board members to learn more about each other. The next important event for the student government is the annual freshman orientation, which we are currently organizing and look forward to hosting in August. The student government is already off to a great start for the next school year, and I can't wait for everyone to see what Stuga has in store for BHS this upcoming year. And it was so nice meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I have one other question. Miss Andrea Recitar, 22 West 41st Street.
I am speaking tonight to express my concern as to how a recent fire on the roof of the ice rink was handled on May 26th. The intercom system in House 3 of the high school had been out of commission for approximately 1 month at the time of the first solar panel fire. After 3 weeks of asking my vice principal about the status of the intercom system and them not knowing, I emailed Mr. Baccarella about the frustration staff in House 3 were experiencing. As a union rep for House 3, I was fielding complaints daily. Staff were concerned about their safety, especially in the event of an emergency. At that time, I was assured that there were contingency plans in place should there be an emergency, and there was nothing for us to worry about. Then came the response to the fire. A teacher noted smoke on the roof of the ice rink at approximately 11:30 a.m., I learned, on the morning of the 26th, and notified the House 3 office. No fire truck arrived on the scene, to the best of my knowledge, until approximately 12:30 p.m. I was made aware of the issue only when my period 6 students, who had been released from my room at 1:12 p.m., returned to my room during period 7 saying they had nowhere to go. They were supposed to have PE in the ice rink, and they weren't being released from the building. So apparently, House 3 was never notified in any way, shape, or form that a shelter in place was indeed in place. Approximately 5 minutes later, after the students arrived, the House 3 secretary came in to say we had a shelter in place. We were left in limbo after that. Students received texts from parents saying that there were fire trucks at the ice rink. I received an alert as a parent that students were going to be released at 1:40 p.m. Yet, when I looked at my school email, there were no listings whatsoever as to what I was supposed to do as a teacher. If I hadn't been a parent of a student at Bayonne High School, I wouldn't know what to do. So once the students were released, that left teachers in the hallway wondering, were we able to go too, or were we supposed to be staying in the building? Again, no one was around to answer any questions. No one. So I ask, if this was a relatively minor emergency in the scheme of things, and this is how things were handled, how do you expect to instill confidence in your staff that their well-being and the well-being of students is really being addressed? If Mr. Baccarella, as he stated, was in a Zoom conference for court and was unavailable and knew nothing was going on, who was the second in command in the building? I ask, were there too many administrators and security guards at the game that day rather than in the building taking care of some business? I don't know what the solution is. I was assured there was a solution, but apparently there was not. And if this was a minor emergency and this is how things were handled, how am I supposed to have confidence and tell the people that I represent that they should have confidence in the system that is in place? I recognize we have an old building and an antiquated system, but I was assured that something was in place, and apparently that fell apart. So maybe we need more practice drills with the intercom system out, since that seems to be a problem. Maybe we need more drills because it seems that fires on the solar panels are a problem. So I would like to know, what does the district have in mind to try to alleviate this problem so we're not having continual 111 dismissals? I mean, granted, it's early, the school year's almost over, and you have a summer to try to rectify the problem. Right, but there's a safety issue that also needs to be
That's
rectified,
3 minutes.
over the course of the summer.
Things that you addressed are correct. The intercom system is out. We are in the process of fixing it because while we do need contingency plans, we need to get that back up and running. The solar panels are being removed. They're antiquated. We're no longer getting any credits for them. So they have been disconnected and they're being removed as we speak to try to avoid that ongoing issue. This isn't the first time, as you know, this is an ongoing issue. As far as the response on the day, we'll certainly look, this is the first time we heard of some of these concerns. We'll look into them, and then I'll personally reach out to you.
Well, I'm
and get back to you.
disappointed that you haven't heard about them because Mr. Woods, myself, and Dr. Bransfield met with Mr. Baccarella on Friday morning, May 27th, to discuss our concerns at that time, and I'm sorry that they were not brought to your attention.
All right, but thank you for bringing
I
them
have
to
a
our
question.
attention.
So you're saying is no one in your house 3?
Correct.
No teacher in house 3 had communication of what the procedure was, like, we're leaving at 1, whole shelter in place, we're leaving at 1. No one received communication on
All
that?
I knew of was that we had a shelter in place. And after that, after the secretary came around to tell us there was a shelter in place, I had no other information from administration, either through school email or coming to my door.
Thank you.
And to the best of my knowledge, neither did anyone else in House 3, prior to the 140 dismissal.
Thank you.
And again, the only way that I knew what was going on was because I received a phone call as if I was a parent of a student. Even though she graduated in 2014, I still get those messages.
Yes.
President Villado, can I ask a
Thank you.
question?
Of who?
Just in general to her statement? Who would be second in charge in the high school?
The House 3 principal would be in charge of House 3, House 2 would be House 2, House...
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
2 emails, one. Anything else? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
By Vice President
second.
Munoz, second by President Villado. On that motion and second to adjourn, Trustee Burke is absent. Trustee Cassius?
Yes.
Trustee Egan?
Yes.
Trustee Godesky Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez? Trustee Scalfane is absent. Trustee Wilbeck?
Yes.
Vice President Munoz, President Villado. It is 7:20. Public meeting is over. The board will not return. And then there was this, there was 2
Yes,
of
but
them.
this one's afterwards. She's saying she didn't know that there was a shelter in place till someone came to her room and told her.
I mean,
But the bell had rung and she had to be with
we've-
students.
Yeah, but
We've not heard
she's
about it.
saying that nobody, 2 emails did go out. The shelter in